Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. Today is my college football special. Boy, this young man has rocked the college football landscape. Will Deion Sanders be the next head football coach at Georgia Tech, or even Auburn University, Nebraska, any Power 5 school that has an opening? If you like the video today, please comment and share it. Special thanks to my producer, Mr. Logan Landers, for making it happen this morning here on 100 Yards Football, and I'm your host, Vincent Turner. As I get older in my 62 years of living on this great earth and following this great game of college football, I can tell you that there's certain things that happen in your life that you don't never really expect. And me being a college football fan to the time I can remember at the age of 6 years old, back in 1966, I can honestly say that what this young man has done at Jackson State and what he's done at the college football level since his time at Jackson State has probably been the greatest moment and the greatest thing ever in college football history. And if this young man is hired, whether it be Georgia Tech or Auburn, I would tell you it'd be the greatest game changer in college football history. We can talk about Woody Hayes. We can talk about John McKay. We can talk about Eddie Robinson. We can talk about John Meredith. We can talk about Jake Gaither, Billy Nix, Newt Rockney, Aaron Parsegent, Bear Bryant, Shug Jordan. That would be the greatest change in college football. The state of Mississippi, John Vaught, the 60s, it would rock the college football world. And this gentleman, he's proved me wrong. I'm going to start with Deion Sanders first and foremost, start with Mr. Sanders. I think I have never seen an athlete that's came in any sport outside Muhammad Ali. See, before Muhammad Ali, he was Cassius Clay. And in the 60s, Ali was saying things like, I'm the baddest, I'm the prettiest. And he went to the top and did it at a high level. And the competition Ali fought was at a high level. Foreman, Frazier, Norton, Horry, Shavers, Holmes. Look at Deion Sanders. 4 years ago, I was really shocked that I would see Deion Sanders even getting into coaching college football. I knew he coached it on a high school level, but I really didn't take him seriously. And then I go back to his career. I remember the first time watching him play in Florida State, 1985, TBS, Florida State and Tulane. He was back returning a punt. And I remember Bob Neal and Tim Foley were doing the game. And Bob Neal made these comments. People, you're finna see one of the most pound for pound greatest football players that play in the college level that ever stepped in this game. And look what Deion Sanders did at Florida State. Prime time. Got his nickname playing high school basketball, having back-to-back slam dunks in a high school playoff game in basketball. Then he went to Florida State. And it was another incident when I knew he was for real. Playing Auburn his junior year and shutting down Lawyer Tillman from Auburn, who's the best receiver in the country. Then coming back for his senior year, that 90-yard punt return against Clemson. Then coming into the NFL saying, I hope whoever drafts me, you got enough money. You might have to put me on their way. Then his first game as a rookie against the Rams in Fulton County Stadium. He fumbles the first punt, I believe. Then the second punt he fumbles, picks up and goes 66 yards. And then, of course, him winning the Super Bowl ring with the 49ers. Coming back here to Georgia and saying the Georgia Dome is his house and taking that 90-some yard interception back for a return. Then the next year going over to the Dallas Cowboys, winning the Super Bowl with his Florida boys, Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith. One of the most electric, explosive football players that's done it at a high level and then played baseball on top of that. Then he goes into TV. It's pretty good. And to be honest, I thought that's where he was going to really make his career. Then all of a sudden he gets into coaching. Then 4 years ago, he wants to coach. And no school offered him an opportunity. But Jackson State took a chance on him. Think about how God is in this plan. He goes to Jackson State. In the SWAC. And his years of time there, he's put the SWAC and the HBCU on the map. People looking down there saying, how is he doing this with limited resources? But what I like, he went to a school that had history. Archie Cooley. That's right, Archie Cooley played linebacker there. John Merritt coached there, formerly at Tennessee State. Lynn Barney, Harold Jackson, Don Reese, Robert Bazille, Jackie Slater, Ricky Young, Gloucester Richardson, Jimmy Smith. And what does he do? The whole eyes are now in the state of Mississippi, in the hometown of Jackson, Mississippi. That state that's had so much terrible history. You know what I'm talking about. And I'd like to say thank you, Deion, for even taking that job. Because anybody that's watched these videos over the past few months, the last couple of years, everybody know where my heart is, Mississippi. My parents are from there. Inez, my mother, Chester, my father. I always told y'all, it's something in the water in Mississippi. Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, Elvis Presley, baby. Jimmy Swagger, baby. No, excuse me, Jimmy Buffett, Sam Cooke, B.B. King. And this man has turned the college football landscape upside down. Now he's got an opportunity. He is the number one candidate. When you go on social media, when you get up when Jeff Collins was fired on Monday, social media lit up. And you heard all these other coaches. Lance Leipold at Buffalo, Todd Monken at Georgia's candidates. But right now, social media is Deion Sanders. War Eagle is now becoming a player. Auburn University. Whatever school hires Deion Sanders, whether it's Georgia Tech or Auburn, it's like Brady Quinn said. Remember the quarterback from Notre Dame? He said Deion Sanders will win his first year. In his second year, Deion Sanders will have whatever program as a college football playoff contender. Can you imagine him coming back to Georgia? Metro Atlanta, one of the hotbed recruiting areas for college football. Can you imagine his recruiting class? Right now, everybody talking about Georgia and Alabama. That would change. And Prime is over there on the flats. And whoever hires him, because it's going down. He's bringing the number one player from last year's class, Travis Henry, with him. And his son, my butcher's name, Sanders. It's the number one quarterback right now in passing efficiency in the country. Can you imagine the city of Atlanta? I'm going to start with Georgia Tech. What would it be? Bobby died all over from Bobby died 1945 to 1966, Pepper Rogers, Billy Lockridge, Kim King, Leon Harden, Ken Swilling, Joe Hamilton, Donnie Davis, Marco Coleman, Dorsey Levens, Moxie Bond, Randy Rado, Charles Rogers, Jamal Cox, Ryan Stewart, Must See TV, On the Flats, Atlanta be California, yay, of the South. Deion Sanders will change the whole landscape of college football. Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney. It'll be the most greatest thing that's ever happened in college football history. And let me throw the Auburn Tigers and the War Eagle. I heard they want to be a big-time player. Think about him on the Plains. Cam Newton, Bo Jackson, Charles Barkley on TNT. He'll be sticking his chest out. Boy. Joe Cribs, William Andrews, Takeo Spikes. Can you imagine Zeke Smith, 1958? Tommy Tuberville, War Eagle. It's going down. Deion Sanders is going to be a head coach. And I'm predicting Georgia Tech is my first choice, but it's either going to be at Georgia Tech and Auburn. And when that day happens, it's going to be a major game changer in college football. And what I like about Deion, that he said over the last few weeks, and he said this last week, if I get a job, wherever it's at, I got to have control. I got to have a recruiting budget because I'm coming to win. And it's going to be any player in the country is going to want to play for him. But to me, the perfect fit is Metro Atlanta. Georgia Tech Nation. The new AD, Angel Cabrera, had them balls. Georgia Tech, you produce 1 in 6 people as millionaires from your academic prowess. You got one of the top 5 academic schools in the country. You make that move with Deion Sanders. Can you imagine academically and athletically on the football field? You have people from all over the world want to come down to the flats. Well, in the city where I live in Douglasville, Georgia, I'm only 30 miles away from downtown Atlanta. It would be must-see TV. Prime over there on North Avenue. Kudos to Deion Sanders. You made me a believer. You'll surprise me, Deion, out of Fort Myers, Florida. Whoever hires Deion Sanders is no question about it, will go down as one of the greatest college football coaches ever. And he will come to win. And it's going to be a tremendous change here in Atlanta. Atlanta's going to be one of them cities. From a college football standpoint, you're going to have to really, really say must-see TV. So, to the Buck Blues of the world, I'm sorry I got to throw your name out there. You're going to be sick when this young man takes the job at Georgia Tech. Nick Saban, you're going to be sick because there's going to be a change in the recruiting game. Dabo Swinney, you're going to be sick. And most of all, Florida State, you're going to be sick because he's not coaching where he played in Tallahassee. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Do you wanna party? Do you wanna party? Do you wanna party? Do you wanna party on the flats? Party North Avenue. Party. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. Special thanks to my producer, Logan Landers. He's a West Georgia grad, but he just told me something off air. He said, Deion Sanders become the head coach of Georgia Tech. I'm going to be right with him. I'm going to be a Georgia Tech fan, Rambling Wreck. Do you want to party? Be blessed this week on 100 Yards of Football.